Burgess from Denton County. Good morning. Thanks for joining us from Washington. This is a virus that's been around for a while. We are just learning about it, and particularly about the dangers and the links to birth defects.
That is why it has suddenly burst onto the national news. The virus has been around since 1947, 1948 in a forest outside of Uganda. Now it's with the association with the rather large number of association of birth defects in the country of Brazil, it has got a lot of people looking at it.
You got a briefing from some of the top scientists in the country the other day as a member of Congress, but also looking at it in a different way than many of your colleagues because you're also a physician.
Yes, and sure, I'm very concerned about this. I mean, I think I heard someone say this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. The virus, if you or I were to get it, Tim, it might be a day's inconvenience, but for the child whose mom is pregnant, it can be devastating. The effects are lifelong.
Obviously, the top priority would be a vaccine. That may be years away. So the question is, what do we do in the meantime? And are you confident that the president asking for $1.8 billion would be money well spent?
Well, let's take both of those in turn. I would say what I learned yesterday at the briefing from Dr. Fauci was the vaccine may be a year away, not years away. So a little bit of good news there. It's quicker than I might have anticipated. Mosquito control, vector control is going to be the number one tool that we have to combat this for right now. The president's request was, I will confess to you, was a little bit vague. It was more in the form of a letter than an actual budgetary statement. There are actually that are still available from other disease outbreaks. You may recall Ebola from about 18 months ago. There is still money in those accounts, and that money can be reprogrammed and used. So it's not a question of money. It is very difficult for people not to come to Congress, and the first thing they ask for is additional funding. But the issue right now is getting the facts straight and making sure we do it in the right way.
And again, you say vector control, and in layman's terms, that means, once again, it means spraying for the bugs.
Get those mosquitoes.
Yeah, get those tires out of your yard with standing water in them, and just do the basic things that we have been doing with other mosquito-borne illnesses, like West Nile.
Well, right, and West Nile has given us some experience. So the concept of control with insecticides and spraying, I mean, that is something that I know we've dealt with in my cities for the past several years. That likely will become one of the top line discussions. And Tim, I will just tell you, last weekend I was down at in McAllen, Texas, down on the border, not because of this issue, but because of other issues. I think we do need to pay attention to what's happening on our border and what potentially could be coming across.
I have to